So number 3, this is how do you convert 0.7 repeating as a fraction? So convert 0.7 repeating would just have the dash here, right? So this is 0.7 repeating as a fraction. So basically what I'm doing is I'm figuring out what this is as a fraction, right? So if I want to convert this into a fraction, what I have to do is I have to first convert this. This is a decimal here, right? I'm given a decimal, and I want to convert it to a fraction, right? In order for me to convert anything into anything in terms of a fraction, from a decimal to a fraction, what I have to do is I would have to simply divide it by 10, right? So I would have this is 0.7 bar, and basically what this means is that I'm converting this to a fraction, right? So in order for me to get a fraction, what I could do is this would be simply 0.7 bar over, 7 bar over 10, right? Repeating 7s over 10 here, because this is again one decimal place here, right? So repeating 7s over 10, right? But again, I'm not given, I want it as a repeating as a fraction, right? So again, this here doesn't really exist, right? Repeating 7s over 10 doesn't really exist. So what I have to do is I have to find out, okay, what would this be in terms of an actual fraction, right? Because I can't have this repeating saying here. So what this student did here was they just simply let x equals 0.7, which is great. So basically they let x equals 0.7 bar, and then basically what they're doing is they're multiplying both sides by 10 here. So they multiplied this side by 10, this side by 10, and they would get 10x equals basically 7.7 bar here. 0.7. Sorry, give me a second. We multiply here by 7. I would get 7. No. This should be 7.7 bar. 7.7 bar here. That's good. And then basically what they're doing now is they're kind of doing this substitution here, right? So they're saying that they're going to do a substitution and say this here is equation 1, this here equation 2. I'm going to substitute 1 into 2. So they wrote substitute 1 into 2. So therefore you have 10 multiplied by 10x. 10 you have 10x minus minus x equals 7.7 minus 0.7 here. So that's what they're doing when we substitute those things here. And then this is simply just 9x equals 7.0, which means x would be 7 over 9. X equals 7 over 9. So this here is kind of equivalent to 0.7, which this here would equal 0.7 bar. So there's actually an easier way to do this besides substitution. What you can do is there's kind of a cheat when we're talking about kind of expressing fractions into repeating fractions here. And the cheat here is that if I have something that's like in terms of fractions, if I have 1 over 9, this would equal 0.1 bar. If I have 2 over 9, this is 0.2 bar. 3 over 9 is 0.3 bar, and you kind of get the pattern here. So every time we do something over 9, it's simply just that number repeated itself. This rule only works from basically from 1 to 8. From 1 to 8. So all the way up to 8 over 9 equals 0.8 bar. So that's kind of the cheat here, which means therefore 7 over 9 has to be 0.7 bar here. So this is a cheat in order for me to not do the substitution, and I can kind of memorize this and say that, oh, I know that the decimal here is 0.7, and I can always prove it to you, right? Like in terms of if I were to convert 7 over 9 back to a decimal, right? If I were to convert those two things back to a decimal, I would simply take 9 and divide it by 7.000, right? And this here would be 63. And as you can see here, this is just simply 7 just repeated itself over and over again. So this is 0.7 bar here. So that's basically what this question is. So this solution is correct. Solution is correct. Good analysis.